Vlogmas. Vlogmas. If you can tell, I'm looking a little bit rough because, let's be real, you guys know I like to be real on my channel. I'm hungover. So last night I went out with some friends and we just, like, it was a BYOB Chinese Vietnamese place on Chapel Street called Saigon Rose or Saigon Rose. And basically BYOB, you can bring your own bottle of wine for like a small corking fee of $6. And you can just drink your own alcohol and eat good food. So that's what we did last night. And I had a whole bottle of wine by myself. Somehow that happened. And now I'm paying the price today. I am 100% hungover. So I don't know what I'm going to do for this Vlogmas video. So I need to think about something. So I think I'll tune back in a bit with a better face on. And when I'm more awake and alive, I'm just going to eat these. I'm just going to eat these Doritos and recover. Oh no, Vlogmas. So I'm feeling a little bit better, but not by much, to be honest. Reason being is because the night before I had a couple glasses of wine to myself, just because it's December, why not? And I already wasn't feeling good from that. I don't know why, like last year in Japan, I could drink wine so easily for some reason. Like it never really made me feel sick or upset my stomach in any way. Like much. I was able to drink like a lot of wine. If any of you guys remember Vlogmas last year, I drank quite a bit of wine, and even whenever I hung out with Emily, we'd always get wine and I'd feel fine and not that bad. But ever since living in Australia, like I feel like I can't handle wine that well anymore. It's weird. And Australia is like wine country, so it's everywhere. Like that's kind of what most people drink, I feel like, or at least from my knowledge of being here. Yeah. And then last night I ended up having a whole bottle to myself somehow. I don't know how that happened. But you know, when you're having a good time with friends and people, you can kind of just like lose count and get a little too excited and ahead of yourself. So I was pretty intoxicated when I came home. It was pretty funny, but yeah, today I do not feel good at all. Usually around the end of the day I start to feel better if I've been drinking, but this is not a day where I feel better after drinking. So it's like 8:30 here. I took a 2-hour nap while Kyle played video games, and I woke up and I kind of felt sick. So I just had some pasta again, because, you know. And now I am going to do my favorite thing that I love to do on hangover days, and that is just chill and veg out on the couch and watch Netflix and eat junk food. So I have a Lindor chocolate here because nothing says Christmas more to me than Lindor chocolates. They're my favorite. And then a cup of tea to help me not feel sick, just a cup of green tea. So yesterday I had this great idea of what I would do for Vlogmas today, but I can't remember it now because of me being silly. So I don't know what I'm gonna do for Vlogmas for you guys today, so I figured I'd just sit down and chat with you guys and yeah, just chat with you guys, maybe do a little story time, like talk about my favorite moments living in Japan, because today I was editing yesterday's video that I recorded, which was my closet tour video, and I referenced, like, it was so funny because I started the video just like showing my closet, but then I ended up having a memory behind every single piece of clothing that I showed you guys. Like every shirt had a specific memory attached to it from when I was living in Japan or Korea. So that kind of really, like, it made me feel so warm and bubbly inside. Because I got a comment the other day too saying that someone felt like I left a piece of my heart in Japan, like a part of my heart didn't leave, or my heart didn't leave Japan and is still there. And I guess that's kind of true, but I think you can say that with every country. Like every country I've lived in, I've been someone else. Like that's just kind of how it happens. Like you're in a new culture, you're immersed in a totally different country, different lifestyle, different culture and you take on parts of the people you live with and the aspect of life that you have there, then when you leave that country, you leave that part of you behind. So that comment kind of made me angry, not gonna lie. Like, I was kind of like, no, like my heart like is 100% here in Australia right now. But then I think the way they are trying to phrase it is that, yeah, you left a part of you there. And that can be said with every country. Like in Korea, there's definitely a me that's behind in Korea, and that was the hardworking girl who worked a 12-hour everyday job, who commuted, who was very, very stressed, but also was really addicted to like skincare and beauty and makeup and all the stuff that comes with, you know, living in Korea as a young, influential woman who is working like hardcore hours and, you know. So there is a totally different me that remains in Korea, and every time I go there, like every time I visited Korea, that me would return, so I would feel like that person again and like be really reminiscent. And then same with Japan. There's a totally different me that's there, and I could see it in videos because I had to go back and watch videos when I was referencing them with the outfits, and I was a different person. But that makes sense because I had a totally different life. My life was completely different in Japan. I had a whole group of friends who all did the same job as me. They all were social media influencers and all vloggers, like YouTubers. So we were all together and had this little community where we did the same thing. So everyone, when we got together, was extra excited because we all have the exact same interests in life. So that kind of made me feel so happy and confident in where I was in my life. So I was definitely a more energetic person. I feel like I was a little more sassy too. I feel like I was a little more sassy in Japan. I was watching a couple of the vlogs and I was like, oh, I was sassy. That was pretty funny. Maybe a little too sassy. And it's funny because when I came here, I'm relationship me. Like when I was in Japan, my boyfriend and I were long distance for all that 1 year, so I wasn't like actively in a relationship. Like of course we were still together and doing long distance, we didn't break up or anything, but I wasn't presently in a relationship. So it was just solo me, being myself, hanging out with friends. I didn't like have someone to cuddle with or, you know, come home and talk to about my day. And that's what I have here. I'm back with my partner, and you know, that's what we do. Like we have a home here, we have a life together as a couple. So it's a totally different part of me. And if anything, I feel like the me that's in Australia is the me from Canada before I vlogged and did YouTube. Minus the family. I'm also a different person when I'm in Canada, and some of you guys also noticed that as well. Some of you guys said I seemed happier in Canada, or I was a different person in Canada, and that's because I was with family 24 hours a day, every day with family and a dog. So of course I'm gonna like be different there as well. And plus it's a different country, and I was in the house I grew up in. Like I lived in that house my whole life, so a different part of me shines when I'm in that atmosphere. And just like here in Australia, it's completely different. So this house is my workplace, so it's my office, it's where I work, it's where I create, and it's where I live with my boyfriend as well. So it's definitely a different me that is here in Australia than the me that was in Japan, the me that was in Korea, which you guys didn't see much of because I didn't really vlog there. I was just trying to get into the vlogging thing before I left, and then I left. So yeah, that kind of failed. But yeah, that's kind of like what's been on my mind the past 24 hours, and then some of it kind of floated into my head before, like last week when I got that comment. So I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, talk about it, because yeah, I was watching those videos of my life in Japan, and yeah, it definitely was totally different. And you know, I had my good and my bad days, and I think Vlogmas last year was part of the Japan vlog series where you guys saw more of my vulnerable side. Like I try to not be negative in my videos. That's one thing I work really hard on, and since I've been in Australia, things have actually been really hard for me, and I think I talked to you guys about that before in a vlog where I just kind of opened up about a lot of that, because a lot of you guys noticed I was down pretty often or in very low energy because life's been hard here. And oh, on that note, with most of you guys entering or currently in winter time, for all of you on the other hemisphere of the world, like US, that upper section more northernly, you guys are in winter now. And one thing I completely forgot about is seasonal affectiveness disorder, or SAD. And what SAD is, it's so funny because it is like you feel sad, but basically it's when you get like seasonal depression due to the lack of sun exposure, the cold weather, being stuck indoors all the time. And it's actually a legitimate thing. So back in the day before I moved to Korea, I worked at a tanning salon for over a year. It was like a year or over a year, and we learned all about seasonal affectiveness disorder and how it affects people really significantly, especially in the winter months. And I completely forgot about it because I've always been someone who's easily affected by the winter season. I get really depressed really easily if I'm not like, if I don't have something in my life keeping me like extra happy and bubbly, then I can easily get like SAD, or seasonal affectiveness disorder. And the only 2 years I didn't have that, like I didn't really experience it, was the years I was working at the tanning salon, because I had the luxury of being able to use the beds to get the vitamin D and the sun exposure. Even though you really shouldn't overuse tanning beds, they can be bad for the skin. It is UV exposure, so you are making yourself susceptible to the negative effects of sun exposure, so you have to do it all in moderation, which I did. A little bit every week just helps keep SAD away, and you're able to, you know, keep your spirits up, keep your healthy mind active. Yeah, so if any of you guys are feeling really depressed, more sad than usual, and are just overly bummed out, then consider like going to a tanning salon and just going in a bed for 10 minutes once a week, or 5 minutes, 7 minutes once a week on a really light tanning bed. And trust me, you will feel so much better. Like, you will just be happier. Like, I can pretty much guarantee it. And some doctors actually do recommend it for people with depression. I'm not too sure how common they do, but I do remember back in the day when I worked at a tanning salon, there were a lot of clients that came in because their doctors told them to do it because they were so depressed from winter and stuff like that. And I'm definitely one of those people who needs that kind of stuff in my life. I feel like this Vlogmas vlog is becoming very educational. So Professor B is here to teach you guys all about seasonal affectiveness disorder and how it can affect your mental state. So yeah, if any of you guys are in winter right now and feeling sad, definitely try doing that. And getting back to what I was talking about, the reason why I feel like Australia has been a really, like I've been so depressed here is because I was in a whole year of winter. Like, I went from winter in Japan straight to winter here, and and winter here isn't as cold as Japan, but it's cloudy and rainy and dark. So it was just constantly darkness, and you know, that was 12 months. I had 12 months straight of winter, and wow, that seriously affected me, because you guys have been saying in my vlogs, like, I'm glowing, I seem so happy, and it's honestly because the sun is out, and it was spring and summer here, and I could actually go outside and the sun would be shining, and it would just warm me up and feel so good. And like, literally my mood did a total 180, and even Kyle noticed. He's like, why, you're so, like, you're a different person, like, what happened? Like, you were so bummed out for the whole time you were here, and then suddenly you're a different person. I was like, I don't know, I just feel happy. I feel so happy. And then yeah, I kind of like put 2 and 2 together. I was like, well, I was in 12 months of winter straight in darkness. So in Vlogmas in Japan, you guys saw like that side of me that started getting like seasonal affectiveness disorder. And even in January last year, or in Japan, I was really like down that whole month. Like, I just stayed inside and played video games because I was so down from like just winter, and I was exhausted from Vlogmas and really pushing myself to, you know, go out and do a lot of fun things and stuff. So I just had to like kind of remind myself, like, that's like how I am and stuff like that. I feel like out of the past, like ever since I've been living abroad for the past 4 years now, I think my happiest time abroad was in Japan, mostly because I had that strong community of friendship with everyone that did the exact same things as me. In Korea was a totally different thing. I didn't have a large group of friends, but I had a workplace family, and then I had Kyle and my cat. So that was a different type of happiness. In Japan was a happiness that revolved around an amazing group of friends. And then here in Australia, I don't feel like I have that strong group of friends. Like everyone, all the friends that I have their own individual lives, their own careers. So trying to schedule everyone together to hang out at the same time is actually really hard to do. Like everyone has their own life plan, their own goals, their own hobbies, and it's harder to have like a core group of friends, I feel like, similar to Japan. So I think that's why the Japan experience was just so out of this world amazing, is because that core group of friendship was so strong and everyone was so connected. It was really something I don't think I'll ever get again, to be honest. I don't think I'll ever have a group of friends like that again in my life. I can't see how it would be that perfect again. And like sometimes I was thinking like, oh well, maybe after Australia I could go back to Japan and stay there, try to stay there for another year, you know, maybe do like school, like language school, to be able to stay there again. And it wouldn't be the same. Like I would talk to my boyfriend about this too. I was like, he was like, maybe would you want to do something like that? And I was like, but it's not going to be the same. And I think it would kind of ruin the memories I already have from Japan, because all my friends are gone from Japan. The only friend that's still there is Emily, and I know she's probably going to be there for a while, just by the way that her life plan is going. But literally all my friends have left Japan, so if I went back there it would be a totally different experience. Once again, it would definitely be totally different, because all my friends have left or are planning to leave Japan. So it's such a fleeting moment, but such an amazing moment, and I can't wait for like Australia summer and, you know, going and exploring new places and stuff like that, because the summer months here are really long. Like summer started December, and then summer weather kind of ends in April. Like I remember when I arrived here, like I had 1 week of weather where it was 25 degrees, then it dropped to the low teens. So anyway, you guys, I am sorry for this super sit down, a chatty vlog. I didn't want to do this. I had a plan for today, but I ruined it by drinking way too much wine last night. But the wine was good. It was called Bullseye. Oh, it was really good wine. So yeah, thank you guys for watching today's Vlogmas video. I promise I'll have more interesting things going on later, but I hope you learned something from this educational Professor B teaches you about seasonal affectiveness disorder and other stuff. I hope you learned something new today, and remember, if you are having seasonal affectiveness disorder, do consider doing 10 minutes in a tanning bed, or 7 minutes. Like they'll tell you how much you can do based on your skin type, but just once a week, and I guarantee you'll feel so much happier. Like you just will. It's a fact. You know, we are creatures of nature. Like we need the sun. We're not meant to be in darkness and caves our entire lives. Like that just goes against our evolution and biology and chemistry. Like we need the sun to be healthy and happy. And this is definitely something I realized for the first time in my life via experience. 1 year of winter straight, like it was killing me. It seriously was ruining who I am as a person. Anyway, I am exhausted, still kind of feeling sick, so I am going to watch some Netflix now and lie on this couch and roll around and moan and complain about how I don't feel good. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to thumbs up this video if you learned something new today. Comment down below if you've ever experienced seasonal affectiveness disorder. Let me know. And of course, subscribe if you're not already subscribed to see more videos as I live my life here in Melbourne, Australia, as I am uploading daily vlogs in December for Vlogmas. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!